The night my wife celebrated her promotion should have been one of joy. She had worked hard, clawed her way up in her firm, and the gathering at her parents' home was her moment to shine. Friends, family, co-workers, everyone she wanted to impress, stood around with glasses of wine, clapping as she made her little speech about breaking barriers and finally being recognized. I clapped too, proud of her in my own quiet way. But then she turned her spotlight on me. I wasn't expecting it. She had always teased me at home, subtle jabs about how my business wasn't booming or how I lacked ambition compared to her colleagues. But I never thought she'd bring that cruelty into a room filled with people who mattered to her and to me. As the applause faded, she smirked and said, "Now, if only my husband would get a life of his own. He spends so much time hanging around John, pretending to be important. John's rich, John's successful. My husband isn't." The room went quiet for a heartbeat. Then laughter erupted. Some polite, some awkward, some sharp like knives. My wife threw her head back and laughed the loudest. She enjoyed it. She relished it. My chest burned, but I didn't let the pain show. Instead, I smiled. I smiled so wide it startled even her. Because in that moment, I realized something. She wasn't just mocking me. She was confessing. John was a family friend, someone we had known for years. He was wealthy, sharp, always dressed like he'd stepped out of a magazine. I never liked the way my wife's eyes lingered on him a second too long, or how she dressed differently when she knew he would be around. But I told myself it was in my head. I told myself not to be insecure. But when she said his name that night, when she compared me to him, when she belittled me just to elevate herself, the truth hit me with the force of a wrecking ball. She wasn't just admiring John. She was measuring me against him, and I was falling short. I stood there, smiling like nothing was wrong, but inside I was unraveling. My wife wasn't my partner anymore. She was someone else's admirer, maybe even someone else's lover. The way she laughed told me everything I needed to know. After the party, I confronted her. We drove home in silence, the air thick with unspoken words, until I finally said, "Do you even realize what you did?" She brushed it off. "Oh, come on, don't be dramatic. Everyone knows it was a joke." "A joke?" I asked, my voice shaking. "You humiliated me in front of your family, in front of your friends. You held me up against John like I was a failed experiment. Tell me, was it really a joke, or was it the truth you've been dying to say?" Her silence was worse than any words. Her eyes shifted away, her lips pressed tight, and then with a sigh she whispered, "Maybe I just want more. Maybe I deserve more." That was it, the confession behind the cruelty. She wanted John, or at least the life John represented. And I, her husband, the man who loved her through her struggles, who supported her on late nights and celebrated every victory, wasn't enough anymore. I didn't shout. I didn't beg. I didn't cry. I just smiled again, the same way I had at the party. Because when you've been cut so deeply, sometimes all you can do is laugh at the absurdity of it. Over the next few weeks, the cracks widened. She spent more time working late, more weekends catching up with colleagues. She stopped hiding her phone, stopped caring if I noticed the messages from John. And eventually, the truth walked to the front door. She admitted she had been seeing him. She expected rage. She expected me to explode, to demand explanations, to fight for her. But all I did was nod. I had already lost her the moment she mocked me in front of everyone. That night wasn't just about humiliation. It was a funeral of our marriage. When I finally packed my bags, she asked if I was really leaving. I told her the truth. I'd rather be alone with my dignity than stay with someone who sells it for applause. I walked away from the house we built together, from the life I thought we shared. It hurt. God, it hurt more than words can carry, but it also set me free. Free from a woman who needed to step on me to feel tall. Free from a love that was nothing but performance. Free from betrayal disguised as ambition. Now, when I think back to that night, I don't remember the champagne or the laughter. I remember her words like knives. Get a life. Stop hanging around John. He's rich and successful, you're not. And I remember my smile. That smile was the last act of husband who realized his worth wasn't defined by her cruelty or John's wealth, or the approval of a room full of people. My worth is mine alone, and no one can take that away, not even her.